My name is Kristina Jonkuviene. I'm not sure if I'm heard. I'm co-founder of EditAI together with Kęstutis. This is my 4th time in this conference, Applied Machine Learning Days. I'm coming back and again because I feel inspired. I get a lot of knowledge here, a lot of interesting connections that we keep through the years. And today, actually, we want to share our story, how we are creating the technology for multidisciplinary content development. But I also want to admit that I really want to learn more about you. So if you'll see that we have similar purpose, vision, values, if you have some kind of advice or some interesting ideas, let's chat after the presentation. We'll be really happy to connect. This is maybe not the biggest possible technology. It's just a simple tool, but we are happy that it assists teachers and it does the job, as we say it. So when we talk about multidisciplinary content, how to explain it is better to start with what is not multidisciplinary, what is more like traditional way of learning. And this goes like you know it from the schedule of students during the week. We have 4 or 5 mathematics lessons. We have a couple of biology, physics, arts, physical activity, and so on. And every teacher just follows the curriculum, the National Education Program. And they teach topic by topic about this integrated to other topics. So it's very possible that students during 1 week, they learn more than authors in literature. They go through Middle Ages and history lessons. And during the art lessons, we are going to epoch of Renaissance or something. So for them, it's like a huge world. They try to remember the facts, information, but it's not so easy to grasp how it all connects. And just recently, we talked to one student, and what we talked is based and patented in this simple slide. He was explaining for us that, look, this week in biology lesson, I just had to learn by heart 20 names of fishes and to recognize them from the images, like name and the fish. And he said, I even haven't seen them in my real life. Of course, I want to have a good grade. I will remember it by heart. Everything is okay, but I'm sure I will forget it in 2 or 3 weeks. I said, cool, but maybe what you are learning in other disciplines, maybe in physics. That week, he was going through electricity topic, electric waves, acoustic waves. Very interesting. In geography, learning countries by heart and the biggest lakes and some kind of tourism topic. In cooking classes, about healthy snacks and so on. And just for fun, I said, maybe let's watch one video about the fishes. Maybe you will be inspired. And maybe you all know, I don't know, but it's really an interesting story about the Michigan Lake invasive carps. And the story goes like this. 50 years ago, Americans brought the carp from Asian countries, the Illinois River, just to deal with the problem of algae blooming. So it solved one of the issue, but it caused another one. Because with a flood, the carps flooded, spread it through the whole Mississippi Basin up to other lakes and other rivers. And the fish was huge. No other animals were hunting it, and so like it spread it through the lakes. It's up to 50 kilograms. So whenever the tourism boat is approaching the lake, just it starts to jump like this, like in this photo and the video. And the Michigan Lake around the states, the politicians started to worry that it's gonna affect the economy, the tourism and so on, and it will cause the big damage. So we started to fund different programs that scientists and researchers would find out how to deal with the problem. And scientists started to think about maybe the barriers on the lake. Of course, not from the concrete because it has to flow. So maybe the electric waves under the water that would affect one fishes, like carps, but wouldn't affect others. Or acoustic or bioacoustic waves or something like that. They also start to think about the fishing industry, but then they saw that Americans don't like the fish because it has a lot of bones, even though Asians love this dish at the restaurant. So, I mean, the whole community started to find out how to solve the issue of this spreading carbs. And as you see, it connects all interesting topics like biology, physics, cooking classes, geography, and so on. And so the student, when he heard the story, he watched all the videos, he was hooked with this topic for the whole weekend. And I hope he will remember it for the rest of his life. He learned a lot. And this is the power of multidisciplinary learning, that we are taking one interesting problem and trying to understand and find the solutions for the things that we still don't know how to solve. And that's the main difference from traditional learning, right? In multidisciplinary projects like this, we connect 2, 3, 4 different disciplines. We work in groups, we collaborate, and it's more like students have to find different sources of information. We can meet different people, we can watch different videos, and just come to teacher with questions. So the teacher becomes like a mentor, like a coach in the classroom, instead of like only knowledge transfer, right? Because there are a lot of knowledge already on the internet. And of course, at the end of the project, students come up with creative ideas and problem solving and so on. So it all leads us to what we as parents want, to the future competencies that we want our kids would have when they finish the school, that we would be ready for life with like critical thinking, analytical thinking, creativity, collaboration and communication, and of course, lifelong learning. It might sound a little bit cheesy, but we are coming back to the Enlightenment ideas. What is the purpose of education? It's lifelong learning, because through this we can see and find out our interests. We can learn different subjects through the life by learning to create what is interesting for us and find the meaning in creating new stuff. And for everyone, it's very personal. That's how we say it's the purpose of education. So if multidisciplinary learning is so powerful and so interesting for kids and so good, so why we don't have more at schools of it? I don't say we don't have at all. Of course we do. A lot of teachers are using this method, but why not like every day or every week? So we did an experiment with Kęstutis. We went to more than 400 schools during 1 year, just having chats with teachers, with headmasters, but also observing the environment and how the education is going. And we saw some barriers that I will show, listed as the reasons. And one of them is like infrastructure itself, how we build our schools. Currently, the modern buildings, of course, we are different, but most of the schools are quite older buildings, and it all have silos between different subjects. As you remember, probably when you enter the school, it's like corridor with many rooms, with closed doors. The teachers are working in one room for 10, 20, 30 years, never changing the place. There are not so many collaborative places. And if we look into the current offices, how we build them, we try to organize and design them that every colleague would have as much interaction as possible, that we would jump to each other, that we would see each other's smiles during the day, we would chat at least a little bit what we are doing. Because the problem in the school is that even the teachers do not meet each other. We don't know what they are teaching in the class that week at that particular classes. So because of the shortage of teachers and because our schools are quite small, the subject teachers come to the one school only on couple of days through a week, Let's say chemistry teacher can come on Mondays and Wednesdays, physics Tuesdays, Thursdays. So basically during the whole year, they don't see each other. Of course, we can have some kind of Zoom calls, right, for administrative reasons, but we do not chat to understand what the literature teacher is going through the week, what they are teaching in the classroom that week. Another reason that stops us from having more multidisciplinary learning is how we build the compensation system, how we incentivize the collaborative efforts between teachers. If some, like 3-4 teachers decide to do something together in a classroom, basically only one is paid. Others, we work for free because just we want some good for the kids from their own purpose, following the purpose, their mission, but only one is paid. And another very big reason is that currently teachers, they already work 50 hours a week on average, what we see from statistics. There's a huge overload, and the biggest part, the preparation part, is already 21%. The teachers are preparing for lessons, for activities, for tests, for interesting lessons for children. So if we come to this teacher and say, please do something more, like interesting stuff, like more projects, multidisciplinary, we are kind of asking them to do more preparational work. And this is not going to work so easy, right? Because we already do a lot of overwork. So how we can tackle this issue? Actually, we asked teachers ourselves, we said, we want to help you to prepare, what we can do. And they said, well, if you prepare us multidisciplinary content kind of projects, you just describe it, we have it, and we can go to the classroom and immediately give it to the children, then it's useful for us. So we came back to the office with a team. We started to prepare those multidisciplinary content projects. Some of them were quite interesting. We wrote one about Olympic Games and how the youth generation are not so attractive to it. So how we can tackle that issue through technology, through different sports. And that's how we integrate it into the project: physics, geography, history, technology, and so on, into the 3-pager project. Then another one that we wrote, it was about earthquake in Japan, how to build more stable cities that they wouldn't be so much affected and damaged by earthquake. Another one about the volcano eruption in Iceland, and so on and so forth. So after half a year, we came with 6 projects back to the teachers and said, how do you like it? And they said, cool, you like it, it's okay, it's a good job, but we want a little bit more of it. We sometimes want to integrate different subjects and do it for different classes. So if you would do 1,000 of them, that would be kind of okay. A huge library, because we knew that for us, it took 1 month to create one good project. So if you want to write 1,000, you can calculate yourself how much it would take efforts. And we thought it has to be a better way, because if you will go to another school, we will ask for 1,000 more, and so on and so forth. That's how we thought that generative AI can already help us. We can build it into the technology and use it, and that's how EditAI was born. Basically, it's a tool, an assistant for the teacher that would be simple to use, that integrates different subjects, and the teacher can choose themselves what kind of subject, so we can have a lot of choices. It integrates different sources for students, because we know we like videos, we like long documentaries, short ones, and so on. They also follow the curricula, so teachers can easily to choose what kind of topic we want to go through the project, and it's done just with a couple of clicks. So how it looks like, I will just show a couple of slides. If you are more interested, to know more, it's just we can do it after the presentation. Here the teacher chooses the class, the grade. We choose which kind of disciplines we want to integrate. Let's say natural science, geography, and arts. They click that yes. Immediately they see their own national educational program, the whole subtopics. So from every single topic that students have to go through the year, we can choose which one we want to integrate into the one project, and that's it. After we click, we can already generate a project description. This is just an optional, additional window. Their teachers can add more spices to the project. Basically, they can say, I want something with keywords about quantum computing or artificial general intelligence or about Earth Day or climate change and so on and so on. We can also add some kind of equipment and tools that we want the students would use. It might be laboratory equipment, robotics set, some kind of music instruments. We can use different project type. Is it like problem-based project, phenomena-based, or is more like research-based, where students have to dig into more data, analyze it, come back with insights. And it can also choose different project style. It can be standard in their comfort zone, or it can go out through the roof, be something very imaginative, how the world would look like in 2050, where nobody knows. For some teachers, it can be interesting and creative, for some scary, so we leave a choice. And then they click to generate, and what we get is kind of a three-pager where we are given with a project name, project statement, problem statement, guidance, instructions, how to run through the project, the steps for children, all the sources where students can learn more about the context, YouTube videos, TEDx talks, documentaries, and so on. And that's how we are prepared for the lesson. So in this project, we have designing a sustainable lunar colony. It's basically to make kids think how we build new ways of living, how we extract water, how we find food, how we communicate on the moon, and so on. And the last thing, what we have now, it's a library. So the place where we see what the teachers created as projects and we find it interesting. We just decide, if we decide to share, it comes to the library so that other teachers can also like read through, hunt ideas to see what's interesting. But also we believe in the power of collaboration between teachers, just to destroy the silos that we built before into the infrastructure and the schedule, how we see in schools. So this is the library where, through the platform also in the future, we believe one teacher from Finland can connect to teacher in Switzerland and just say, look, I see a very interesting project about glacier melting. You have a lot of data here. Maybe we just can talk about it. Maybe you can share or you can say some advice where students can find that data and just share your story so that it would help and assist in collaboration of teachers. So that's what about EditAI, and if it seems interesting, we can chat after the presentation, but the main reason we are doing this because we still feel that now or in 20 years, the teacher will be a key role in school, in education system, so we want to help them to be more prepared, quicker prepared for interesting lessons. Thank you.